wanted just to give you a story, an example that ties some of these things together. And it was to do with year 1 and year 2 in the New Zealand system, so very young children. And I saw them out one day with their trundle wheels, and it looked like a maths lesson. One was trundling and the other one was walking beside them, writing something down. And then in fact, they were measuring a plot. And what they'd been asked to do was devise a plot, work out how many pumpkins you could plant in that pot, having read about the space a pumpkin needs. And then I'd go in the learning space and I'd see multiplication and division lessons and pictures of pumpkins and models of pumpkins. Then they'd be back outside again and they'd plant the pumpkins and so forth. And I realized the mission was, can you actually provide food for a week for the class and for the teachers in the school? We're a very small school at the moment. And the children were out there doing their multiplication, doing their mathematics, getting their hands in the soil, doing their biology, such as 5 and 6-year-olds do. And to watch them watch the pumpkins grow, and then to watch, and I'm going to use the word ecstasy, when they actually made pumpkin soup from their own pumpkins from their maths lesson. I thought that was the neatest encapsulation of Green School I'd seen in our brief existence. So I simply wanted to throw that in as a tiny person's version of G'day's experience, I suppose, but something that really happened on campus, and for me is a summation of what Green School is about.
So I understand you guys have a seed to table program, and maybe Leslie, you could describe for me, where the food is grown, and also if I were having lunch with all of you today at Green School Bali or even Green School in New Zealand, what would my lunch look like? What would the cafeteria look like?
Well, you would come up to the cafeteria and you would get a bamboo leaf, and that would be your plate. And on that bamboo leaf, you would put locally grown rice, you would put some vegetables that come from our garden, and you would put a big green salad on there as well that comes from our garden. So about 30% of our food is grown at Green School. Actually more right now because of the pandemic. The campus has just exploded with growth. And so much more space for planting. And so you would be eating about at least 30% of your food from locally grown, a lot of it grown by the children and grown by farmers that we collaborate with and gardeners that we collaborate with at the school. And then when you're finished, you would take that and you would bring it over and you would clear your plate into a bowl that goes to the pigs that are on campus. And you would clear your tray, your plate, and that would be composted. So it's a complete cycle of food to table to back to food for other creatures or for the land. So it would be magical for you. Most people are really surprised by it at first when they come and they see that we're eating that way, and that we all take care of our own food and eat what's grown. So and the Seed to Table program really starts at the youngest of ages with students planting seeds. And it's really, we wanted every student to grow something from a seed and eat it. It started with a conversation like that. Just the power of knowing where your food comes from and the power of growing is again about building your confidence and building your understanding of the world that you live in. So that's a really important part of the learning process.